listening to the Contraritics Podcast, pushing back against the insanity of this world with arguments that may or may not work. And here's your hosts, Josh the Gun Nerd and Ian the Beer Nut.
And we've got something called Firmere, something like that.
Yeah,
in this bottle.
Like
Stalaco Deravine.
If you say so. Sounds like a great YouTube short right there.
Yeah. I don't know how much of this to pour.
I think...
there's things floating in it. Okay. I won't get one of those in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't...
Is this what's the Japanese drink that's got the tapioca balls in it?
It looks like some sort of berry almost.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Or
smells interesting.
Yeah, it's almost got like a I don't know, cardamom or some sort of spice flavor to it. It's good. It's I have tried it before. I haven't.
It smells festive. Looks like you've tried it.
What's that? Yeah. Well, I had some help.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously the label's in Russian. Well, I say obviously, but based on Josh's pronunciation, it's not in Japanese.
I can read Russian at about a second grade level, and I don't understand what any of the words mean unless they're really easy.
Well, I used Google Lens before, and it said something about made in the village.
Yeah, made in the village, and they have like what was the thing about
ethnic boat parking or something? That was. I don't know if it was conflating two lines together or not, but it was describing what this firmer place is. And ethnic boat parking was on the list.
I wonder if that's the name of the drink or the name of the... It says something about a restaurant on that. I can read that much.
Yeah, it did say...
Restaurant.
A restaurant. They host like tourists, and they have a visitor thing.
Should we call them up?
Yeah.
I mean...
Understand absolutely nothing that's happening.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. That would be an interesting live call. But, what... I guess we should taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think festive is one of the best descriptions of it.
Yeah. It does... burn the back of the throat. I think it's some of the alcohol, but it's almost like there's spices that do that as well.
Yeah, it's wouldn't you say like cinnamon?
Yeah, definitely cinnamon and clove, and I mean it's kind of like a rum, and like a spice rum. It's unsettling.
Yeah. It's like
I've made stuff like this. Like, hey, what if I throw this and this and this in? What will it do? Okay, well,
and what if I guess throw some goji berries in there, or whatever those
are? Right.
Yeah. So I mean, not a typical spirit.
Yeah.
But it's always interesting to try different stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you where to buy it because I have no clue.
Yeah, it's somewhere in Russia.
Yeah,
yeah. You can look them up on Instagram. So, Firmer something or other.
Yeah, Firmer. Do they have the Instagram symbol or?
Yeah, top right. Is that where I saw
it? Maybe. Oh yeah, Instagram.com/. Vika Firmer.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Riveting. I'm sure.
Guys, this makes for good radio.
That's right. People are like, well, could you just talk about beer now?
Yeah, I looked for Vika Firmer. There's a Firmer Vika.
Formerly Vika? Or...
Anyway, I don't know why I'm still going down this road. But,
it's kind of like looking for a word or a... Hey, remember that distillery in Russia that we never went to?
Right, yeah. The one that is Firmer Vika, because that says Vika Firmer. This profile says Firmer Vika, and the profile picture is sunflowers. So I'm not going to click on that one.
Okay.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like it fits with what that is.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's some like distilled sunflowers in there. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things going on in today's world. I mean, you got Trump with the announcing or pushing for 50-year mortgages, while also announcing, these $2,000 payments supposedly from tariffs, while also seemingly not getting anywhere on the Epstein files. I mean, there's an
like
email, but
pushing against it now. There's news out that basically that nobody knows how to pronounce her name. It can't be known, but Ghislaine, Maxwell, whatever her name is.
I think you just ignore the S. I think it's just Ghislaine.
I
don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
She is like getting concierge service in the white collar prison that she's in. She's asking, or supposed to be asking, Trump for not a pardon, but a something else, commutation, I think.
Commuting her sentence.
Yeah. So, whatever's going on there. There's Republicans that are like, hey, what are we going to do about this thing? And Trump saying, the Democrats are pushing the false narrative of, Epstein, this and that. And there being a list, which is just weird because that's been talked about by, him and his upper level law enforcement right up until they got into power. And then suddenly, let's ignore this, ignore the man behind the curtain kind of a thing.
Yeah, I'm not even that interested in the Epstein list, but if you say a thing, do a thing. Like, just shut up about it.
If you say a thing exists and then you're like, oh, no, never mind, it doesn't exist.
Right.
Then what am I supposed to believe?
Yeah, Bondi looked like an idiot.
She is. Yeah.
For saying things, these things are on my desk, and then...
Yeah.
So nothing was on your desk? Yeah. Or you're lying now? Or you were...
Just terrible. Yeah. It boggles my mind that the Republicans like her. There was enough people that... held out hope for her that I was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. And you know what? Kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
She's not been pro.
But a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
a
lot of people still say that Bongino is a great guy, and maybe he is, but haven't seen a lot of things come out of that or Kash Patel.
Yeah. It's interesting. I didn't know anything about him till the August or so. Mm-hmm. Whenever he came on to Rogan. And I was like, oh, this guy sounds good.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Yeah, he sounds good. He's really good at continuing, the drug enforcement stuff. He likes posting up all that.
Yeah, the border stuff is one of the bright shining spots of, hey, it sounds like we do have
That's more the border guy than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's some FBI
Tom
actions.
Holman or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I keep thinking like Spider-Man. Is that the name of the actor that did one of the 15 Spider-Man movies?
I don't know. Yeah, it was a Tom, but
yeah.
And Hegseth just announced some operation spear or something.
Oh yeah.
For combating the cartels.
Okay. Operation Trident Spear. It is interesting. I watched some of those cartel videos, and it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, it really does. They basically, I saw one where I think it was a Seahawk or something like that Seahawk. I think that's what the Coast Guard uses, and they had a 240 Bravo, or whatever it is. that's the 308, I think. So it's a machine gun mounted to the side of the helicopter, and the guy's like, he's on the 50, and with the other hand, he kind of reaches over and hits the paddles on the, I think it's paddles, maybe it's trigger on the Bravo, and he's just winging it up and down, and it's just like shooting maybe 30 or 40 feet in front of the boat, just splashes up in front of it. And then he gets on the 50 and he waits a little bit, and then it looks like he just starts taking shots at the engine. And eventually the thing's not running anymore, and it's just sitting there. And then they, have a rib, like an inflatable boat with a hard bottom, just goes up right next to it. And all these dudes are laying on their faces, and they start pulling. They look like Christmas packages, or maybe like somebody cut the top off of like circus tents, like these multicolored tarps and these half-size hay bales, and they're just pulling all this coke or whatever it was, heroin, off the boat.
Well, you know all about that, right?
Yeah,
Cases of coke.
Cases of coke. Yep. Conversation about a time in Ukraine, sitting on cases of coke in the back of a church van.
And I asked for clarification.
Why would you need clarification on that?
I was like, usually out of context, it's not like they're in a restaurant or something. I'm like, why were there cases of coke in?
That's right. I didn't even tell you about that. But yeah, so the end of the boat thing anyway is like these boats are kind of rad. Maybe they're ratty. I don't know, but they're bombing along probably 40 knots plus, and they're long. They're not the cigarette boats that you think of, but they're it's like, dang, like bring those boats back and sell them for $1,000, But they basically go with a hole saw and they drill holes in the boat, and then they put a bunch of flares on it, set it on fire, and and burns up and then just sinks. So
wow,
yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a lot going on in that. Yeah, that international drug war thing, where countries are getting their feathers ruffled, and I was curious how that happened. What's the protocol when that happens in international water? Because Trump has been very vocal about how proud he is for taking out boats in the middle of international water.
Near Venezuela or Venezuelan boats.
You just see this grainy footage of this boat going along, and they're like, and then all of a sudden they zap it with, I don't even know what they're taking it out with.
They were doing some drone strikes on it, which makes for fun video games. But have you ever played it was Call of Duty or whatever? I was talking to people about video games recently. I was like, I don't think I've played a video game in like a decade.
Yeah.
But I remember you used to do those ones where you're like up there in Hercules. No, not Hercules. I can't remember. But you could choose between shooting 150 millimeters, 40 mics, or 30 caliber, 20 or 30 millimeter rounds, and it was fun. Video game wise.
Yeah,
and there's other people on the other end. Because I think some of the people are saying that it was just fishermen out, fishing for coke.
Yeah, right. Because I think it was announced that Britain is no longer going to share intel with them.
Yeah, which is fine. They're pretty pro anything that's not good right now.
Yeah, right. Like it's a really sad state that Britain's in terms of their legal system. They obviously. I feel like when you start to take guns away, everything just starts to go downhill. Weird
how that works. Now you can't carry a butter knife in your lunch bag anymore because that's dangerous.
And they got all those cameras, that whole network of cameras all over London.
Yep.
And people make it their full-time gig to go and take them out.
Yeah.
So there's not much to be envied in the Britons. But just interesting how Trump is... I feel like I don't know what his approval ratings are officially, but I feel like even among the MAGA crowd, like there are those that are going after the whole Israel thing and just cannot get enough about shouting about it.
Yeah.
And then there are those that are taking issue with the Epstein thing. And meanwhile, he's, bouncing along doing his same Trump thing. But I just don't know how his. It doesn't seem that he's delivering on the promises. At least some of them. Like even when I think back to, like, can you believe that the whole Doge thing that was like less than a year ago? You know, like where they were just like, you know, taking names and just knocking. You know, we felt like we were, you know, saving billions of dollars every day.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just disappeared.
Yeah.
And the politicians decided to do nothing about it.
Well, it's interesting. So Elon Musk was just on Rogan's show in the last week or two. And did you hear that? I'm talking about it. So I didn't realize he had, I think it's for an unelected official in that kind of position, you basically get, I think it's 90 days or 120 days or something like that you're allowed to do your job before you have to step down. And so that was the case with, you know, him. I was under the impression that there seemed to be some rift with him and Trump.
Yeah.
But that had nothing to do with him stepping down.
Okay.
He legally had to step down.
Yeah, I didn't know that part.
And he said, well, it was actually a good thing because all that stuff is still apparently going on, but they're not focusing on it because they don't have him as like they don't have Elon there to, like, you know, throw shade at the whole time. So
yeah, people could just, I mean, even for his own company, I don't think it was a good thing.
It was. And I think to one level or another, that department has been around for at least since Obama. I think I've talked about it before, but a friend of mine was part of that and saved millions and millions of dollars for doing some streamlining stuff, making things more efficient.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same department.
Okay.
So it was renamed to, you know, fit the brand.
Sure.
But it was still an efficiency department.
And remember back, like way back before, as he was being elected or whatever, before the transition, there was talk of Elon and whoever that other guy was that was running initially against Trump, but then
yeah,
he was the Indian guy, or I don't know if he's Indian, but he was a really young guy.
Ramaswamy.
Yeah, Vivek. Yeah,
and is he running for governor or mayor somewhere? Did he do that?
I thought so.
Yeah,
I don't remember where, but
yeah,
it's crazy. Like that wasn't that long ago, but
yeah.
I mean, the news just keeps ticking along, and trying to distract from how many people are being murdered in Chicago.
Yeah,
because guns are bad.
That's right. Yeah, where they're most restricted.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wow. Yeah, he is a young guy.
Yeah, is he in his 20s or 30s?
No, he looks young, but he was born in 85.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because he's got a couple kids and whatever.
Yeah.
But definitely young compared to Trump.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and some of this is why it's so hard to keep track, because it's just new info coming out every 5 minutes. It used to be 15 minutes, now it's every 5 minutes. But I feel like he really showed his cards.
Yeah,
you know, showed his ass or something. You know, he so he was one of those weird ones where it was like, okay, I like a lot what he says, but I also have some reservations, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Now I can't remember what it was, but it kind of came out that he wouldn't have been a great candidate anyway. So
yeah, but it was entertaining.
Yeah,
while it lasted. This is we're pouring the last of the Redbreast 12-year single pot still.
It is such a good Irish whiskey.
Yeah,
I heard somebody this morning on a podcast talking about hating Jameson, which I don't hate it, but I don't.
It's not one that you're gonna pick up.
Like I understand why they just mix it with ginger ale over there, It's
Yeah.
like, okay, that's a fun drink.
Mm-hmm.
But this is really good. I mean, it smells amazing.
Yep. A rich mix of dried fruit and spice.
Yeah.
Well, nothing like that in terms
Yeah.
of dried fruit and spice.
That was, some berries and,
Cinnamon. Yeah.
yeah.
No, but this is just super, super drinkable, super approachable.
Yep.
Doesn't punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Really mellow.
Got some sweetness to it.
Yeah. But one of the things we were talking about is, anytime a group of people is trying to do a thing, and when it's not like under, when it's not like a company, trying to do a thing, but you have
Like maybe a community.
maybe, you even think like you could go back to, like Plymouth Plantation, of the first settlers, where they're trying to establish a community and like they're not necessarily telling everybody what to do individually, but they need to get this thing going.
Yeah.
And here in Marysville, we're trying to make it great, make it a great place for us and our families and our neighbors. And how that looks is going to, be fleshed out a little bit differently for each family, for each individual. And I don't think we can, we can't expect everyone to have the same passion for each individual subject or area.
Yeah.
We actually do want people to be pushing out into all those areas that they see and that they see that themselves called to lean into. But that's going to create some, people being pulled in different directions and not feeling like, you can't get your feelings hurt that not everyone's on your idea.
Yeah. You've got to just be confident enough of your idea, your interest, and run with it, and not expect that you're going to get 80% support of your community.
Right.
And I mean we are talking some specifics, and we're also not we're being general because it is a very general thing.
Yeah.
I talk with people like, so in our church we've got guys that have internet run businesses. We've got a brewery represented here. We've got a home construction remodel company. We've got people in real estate. You've heard us talk with Jubal Marlatt and getting his DPS off the ground. I think it's
Direct primary care.
Yep, DPC. There we go. And that's has some rays of light coming to it. Hopefully that'll work out pretty soon, as far as
I think he's
finding a
looking
guy.
to be a doctor.
So and those are the ones off the top of my head, and there's probably some I'm forgetting about. And we've got guys that are actively trying to buy property for starting businesses around here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that in 10, 15, 20 years, we're going to see, by the grace of God, larger and larger representation as you walk down the street and drive down the road of our community out there. And, there might be some people that'll never, use one of those businesses because of their area of interest. I mean, we were talking about, like, for me, I'm not a sports guy. So even though we're in the school and we've got sports ball field game teams doing running and ball kicking and things like that, I don't sit down and watch any of that kind of stuff. Zero interest. I don't know, like, I guess, like the Mariners. They did pretty well. The Mariners did pretty well in their thing, and made like some records and for themselves, and things they hadn't done in 25 years or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So hey, that's all good, and I'm not interested. What does interest me is like the way that we can all run together in excitement and support for our students doing that. But like, it's not something that excites me to pay attention to those things otherwise. But I don't have to be that way. And also, I shouldn't poo-poo it, and I shouldn't be dismissive of it. So I do fight against that.
Because it is. I mean, I just see sports specifically, for our youth, especially young men, and for young women as well, depending on the sport. But I think it's a breeding ground for building tough people. It can also be. It's like anything. It's a tool. It's how you use it, and you can use it to actually punish your kids, where you're just like, like wanting to build the next, Ken Griffey Jr. or something, where you're just
totally
like subjecting them to such a crazy schedule, and your whole family, like dragging your whole family through, travel ball and that crazy schedule.
Yeah.
But also, I think,
and I agree with all those. I for my family, I like to do it differently. So we don't have hours of travel and hours of practice. My son does jiu-jitsu, and that's, like if I'm going to watch something, I'm going to totally watch mixed martial arts. Like that's exciting to me. And so I understand, okay, so we want the same thing, but we're going to go different directions with how we apply that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the goal is to get tough people that can push through pain, that can push through adversity. But just like, I think you can still raise a pussy by taking your son to jiu-jitsu. How do they handle adversity?
Or you can totally raise a son that thinks he's extra macho because he's punching or kicking, or in the case of jiu-jitsu, choking somebody out or whatever. Like you can totally think. I mean, you walk into the gym and you see that. You got a bunch of guys that are, some of them are just top heavy, weightlifters that you're like, I don't want any of that.
So they're tools, and character is built upon how you react to adversity, how you react to, are you going to let your kid sit out because he's got a boo-boo? Like, what is the extent of the boo-boo? Can you play through it, or can you, So whatever that competition is, I do think, like, whatever it is, like, life in many ways is a competition where, even trying to, set up a stand downtown and you're going to sell a thing, whatever the thing is, you're going to have to, probably going to make a value proposition to somebody, whether it's the city to give you a permit, or to, maybe another business owner, let them use space on their property. Like there is competition in and selling, I guess is another way to phrase it. But there's going to be adversity for sure in life. Yeah. And, raising kids that can deal with adversity and can deal with, something else we were talking about is how to raise sons that you want to push, but not push so hard that they hate it. Yeah. But also, like the main charge to fathers is, don't
exasperate.
Yeah, exasperate your children. Don't push them to wrath or push them to anger. Yeah. And so we want to be pushing our kids, but also not pushing them to frustration, and like leading them in that, dealing with adversity, rather than just saying, "Hey, you go deal with that," and not dealing with it on our own end.
Being thankful, for where they are at, especially, looking at where my 14-year-old is at compared to how I was when I was 14 years old. I see painful similarities, and I see, good fruit that comes from, a foundational having a foundation where I came from that, you know, my dad did not have.
Mm-hmm.
So he provided something for me that he didn't have. I'm providing something for my son that I had the start of, and growing that in him.
Yeah. So like, how do we, it is interesting just to see, I mean, I guess some of it comes down to vision casting, like how well do people see what the end goal, and like what you're trying to accomplish, and therefore, how can they then see the next thing that they can pick up to do as a part of that? I think a lot of times we as humans in general, like just make things way too big. Like, well, if I can't do that, then I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas
Looking for the perfect.
Yeah.
And when just getting started is what needs to happen. Just doing the thing, the next right thing. What was it you were saying earlier about, selling shirts and merch for us. And, you know, is it something? It's something, you know, we don't know what it'll do, but, you know.
Yeah. Just starting somewhere, you know, like, maybe you have an idea that you want to, you know, be the best, holster manufacturer in the gun industry.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably not, unless you're very connected and have a lot of, not only backing in terms of financial, but also connections in the industry to get your name in and build recognition. You're probably going to start small, like Lucas did in his
with a toaster oven.
Yeah, with a toaster oven, just bending stuff.
And you know, there's so much value to that. I'll take it back to a Jeep analogy, like, you know,
give the people what they want. They want Jeep analogies.
That's it. Like, when I got my Jeep, it was, you know, a very close to stock Jeep, and my brother had a very stock Jeep, and some other friends, you know, were a little bit further along with us, and they had built theirs up a little bit, but they had started, you know, pretty small. And so you get out there and you get on a trail and you learn, I need bigger tires, or I need, you know, gears to help me go slower so I have more control. And so, you know, over the course of a couple of years, you know, we're swapping parts and, you know, making our Jeeps more capable and learning what we actually need. And then we had a friend that took a second mortgage out on his house and dumped a good chunk of that money into building a Jeep that he bought like in a previous couple months.
Oof.
And so he built this Jeep that was massive and not built wisely. And I mean, like, it was a capable Jeep, but it was more than capable than he was, and he couldn't figure out why he kept rolling it over all the time. And
it's like the newly adopted gun guy going out and buying all these like expensive triggers and things.
Totally.
That they don't even know what
they don't even know what it's just more money on it. And so, like, you know, so that it was one of those things where I'm watching that. I'm like, I'm seeing how he doesn't understand his thing. So like in the going back to like starting the business, starting off with, you know, a toaster oven, you know, thing to melt the plastic that makes the holster, you're going to learn things that you would never learn if you went into it with, you know, a lot of capital and bought all the equipment, and all of a sudden you've got, you know, a 20,000 square foot warehouse and, you know, 20 employees, and you're just trying to, you know, figure it out at that level. You're going to learn different things that way too.
Right.
But you've got so much invested in it, and starting off small and working your way up is going to teach you some lessons that you would not learn otherwise. So don't put the perfect in front of just putting a foot forward and going after it.
And I would encourage you guys to listen to on Mike Rowe's podcast. It was probably about 9 months or so ago. He had Josh Smith of Montana Knife Company on. And like if you just Google, you know, Mike Rowe, Josh Smith, it'll populate. And hearing about his journey, he had this vision for Montana Knife Company, like, I don't know, 20 years ago or something. Like he registered,
Yeah, he
was it him or his mom that registered the name on?
Yeah,
It's something like that. Like when he was still in high school or something, he registered the name, the website, and Montana Knife Company, and then he went through life, and he eventually became like he did it professionally for a while, where he was a knife maker, and like he made like a sword for a sheik,
yeah,
over in the Middle East.
He was making like, what was it, 3 knives a year?
Yeah, but
they were
really nice and really expensive,
multi-$1,000.
Yeah, and
knives.
obviously that's a different market than what he's in now.
Yeah,
but then he became a lineman because he needed to pay the bills, and he was doing this part time in his he was working long hours between being a lineman and doing
a
this.
shop on his property.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they still are operating out of that shop. They're now building another facility, but still to this day, they are actually a big player in the knife game.
Yeah.
In the premium knife, so for a lot of their fixed blades, they're like $300.
Yeah.
$250 to $300.
Yeah.
But they are, what are they? Are they guaranteed for life, or they're, you can send them at any point to get sharpened.
Yep.
If under regular use or whatever, it somehow it breaks or something,
they've got a huge warranty.
Yeah.
Well, he told a story recently about a guy lost a knife. He heard the story about it, and so he sent him a replacement or something like that, and the guy was just blown away by it and ended up buying more knives. It was the kind of thing where completely unnecessary for him to extend this warranty beyond what it was actually warranted for, like a lost knife or something. And just his customer retention is amazing.
They offer
kind of things.
Free lifetime sharpening. You just send it in, they sharpen it.
And their turnaround time's crazy from what I've heard.
Yeah, it says 48 hours is turnaround time.
That's pretty good.
And I have heard stories where they've replaced things, in crazy circumstances. I've also heard that there's some sort of beef with Benchmade, where they were actually sued by Benchmade at one point.
Yeah.
And then he just posted the other day that they're doing where are they at? Where in Montana are they?
I can't remember. I want to say Mid-South.
Mid-South. It's a themed knife based on I don't think they're in Missoula, but anyway, based on where they live, and Benchmade's making one of those, and places on the knife are not actually places on the map.
Oh, really?
They for however they did that,
funny.
They messed it up.
Yeah.
But he just posted the other day that for all of the, I don't know. I don't know why they sued them originally. But it's pretty interesting to see a big company like that trying to chase a smaller company.
Yeah. They must be doing something to get their attention.
Yeah. Let's see.
They got a cool truck they're giving away. Not even a Chevy guy. That's
other fun facts.
Yeah. Just popped up as I was looking for it.
This says, apparently Benchmade sued them because they claimed that they tampered with an employee and sent sensitive materials, trying to steal trade secrets or something.
Okay.
But anyway, it was just interesting that, Benchmade is kind of the primo brand in the industry, but
and Montana Knife Company is basically like a fly on their sandwich.
Yeah, they in terms of annual sales, I'm sure Montana Knife Company does a fraction of what Benchmade does. But it is interesting when somebody gets in their craw and they just that competition ends up being a distraction seemingly from Benchmade's primary goal.
Yeah. They are in Frenchtown, Montana, Missoula County. So it is actually
Missoula
like
County.
right on the border of Idaho.
Okay.
Are you getting a weird sound? I'm getting a weird sound through my...
Yeah, and I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't show up in the... I'm like, yeah, at some point I was like, is something happening? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Sounds like I had like a Folgers can next to
In
my
front
mic.
of yeah. But anyway, I mean, the whole idea is that, how do we encourage people to do a thing? Like just start, just take what God has given you right in front of you. And
I mean, if you got a bunch of people saying no, maybe you should not have a store selling adult coloring books, not in like a perverse sense. I'm literally thinking of somebody that was like selling coloring pages at a event that we were at, and I was like, where are her friends?
right.
Like, she's selling things.
Somebody
you can
should have
print
told
online.
you that. Yeah.
We can just ask for this on the computer box and print it off. Like,
Right.
So if you got a bad business idea, listen to people that are saying, hey, this isn't going to work out for you. But like,
Or maybe like it's just a, pivot. Like,
yeah,
hey, I like what you're doing, but maybe there's a ways you can streamline it, or you can
totally
shift into a different arena. Maybe you can make an app, or something.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So listen to people, but also don't feel like you need 100% support from everybody, because you'll always have sayers of nay that will tell you that's not going to work.
Or the Knights of Knee.
The Knights. That's right. Yeah.
All right. Well,
don't exasperate your sons or any of your children, and then also be confident in what God has put on your heart to do. Listen to counsel, but also don't get discouraged when nobody has the same vision as you.
yeah, and maybe right now you're in the spot where you're just registering the website, and you're in a waiting game, and you're in a building phase, and but don't put it on the shelf and just say that you're in the building phase.
Yeah.
Like actually do something, do the next thing.
Yep.
And show your kids how to be persistent and faithful.
For sure.
All right. Well, until next time, there's no time like today than to weld defiance and obedience into one inseparable whole. So go and do it, people.
Preach it.
Thanks for listening to the Contraritics. Tune in next time for another dose of guns, beer, and contrarianism.